I'm Michael Bain, and welcome to Triggered, coming to you from the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains in Dragon House Studios. And today I want to show you a gun I've really been waiting for. This is from my long-term sponsor, Rock Island Armory, and it is a TAC Ultra 9mm high capacity. And you'll notice the American flag right here. Made in the USA, made at the Cedar City factory in Utah. We've been to that factory. And I specifically asked for this gun. I said, I want to shoot USPSA again, and I want to shoot it with this gun. Now, is it the first time I've shot a Rock Island competition? No, that belongs to this guy. And this guy goes back to, I don't know, early 2000s, 2005, something like that. And you can see it's been rode hard and put away wet. But I shot a lot of rounds through it. I was very, very happy with it. This guy even more so. So we're going to be spending a lot of time with this gun. But today, what I want to show you very quickly is the optics mounting system. And it's called the AOS system. And that stands for Agency. Agency Arms, their optics system. And it's pretty straightforward. Like a lot of the others, there's a plate that locks on top here. But what struck me was as really interesting is when you pull the plate, and the plate fits very tightly. Let's just do it the cheap way. Let's dump the screws. Plate comes right out. Now, note the plate, backside is on the plate. When you get a plate for a sight, it's here. Interestingly enough, I got this from Springfield Armory. The AOS system cut, I believe, was developed for Springfield for their Prodigy, which we had a Prodigy in here and shot really, really great. One of the things that's really cool is you notice it's got this little hook in the back. So when the plate fits in, it fits in very, very tightly. Now, you've got a backup iron sight here. I'm choosing to use a Trijicon SRO, which has been my choice for a competition sight for years since they came out. Trijicon's a great company to work with. I busted an SRO, and in response, they sent me another one. And it'll sit right here. SRO sits too high to use this as a co-witness, but in a competition gun, that comes down to so what. Even at the very bottom, I can get a little teeny tiny sight picture if I need it. But for a competition gun, what I'm focused on is the target and the dot. So I'll be putting this together. Obviously, you know there's going to be some Loctite involved, and have it ready to start putting rounds through it in the next few days. I'm really excited, by the way. Trigger is 4 pounds, maybe a couple of ounces. This trigger, custom trigger, is 3 pounds, but this trigger is almost as good. We'll be showing you a lot more of this gun, including first matches, as Triggered rolls on.
You know the RIA 5.0 packs radically new innovations, but we didn't stop there. Introducing the RIA 5.0E. The E stands for enhanced, as in new optics cuts and plates. The updated barrel is crafted with improved materials and slide geometry. The look and feel is also enhanced. Plus, new lightning cuts show off the updated match-grade barrel. Experience the enhanced RIA 5.0E today.
Welcome back to Triggered, and what I'd like to talk about now is how the world of home defense is getting ready for a huge shakeup 1st of January when the $200 transfer fees on NFA gun goes away. That includes suppressors. It includes short barrel rifles. It includes short barrel shotguns. Why is that going to change home defense? You've seen this gun a lot before. In fact, you've seen it as we step through building it. It's a Glock 34 in a recovered chassis. This one particularly is a short barrel rifle. I paid the $200. The Glock frame itself is the short barrel rifle. It's got a Banish 9K suppressor on it. I said this becomes an incredibly good home defense gun. Previously, we have been arguing over which is the best home defense gun. Should we have a shotgun? Should we have a rifle? Should we have a handgun? The drawback to handguns is they're hard to shoot. You have to keep practicing, as you do with any gun. Problem with rifles is they're long. And the same problem with shotguns. There's another problem with rifles that we haven't gone into at great lengths, and that's they're loud. So I have a short barrel AR-15 as my home defense gun. Have you ever fired that gun in a closed space? If you fire 2 shots, you have permanent hearing damage. So does anybody else in your house, including your dog. The ideal is to be able to defend yourself in your home with a solid round, with a gun that you can maneuver quickly and easily, that's not long and unwieldy, a gun that recoil is not going to pound you into the ground with, and a gun that's quiet enough so your family can hear whatever shouted instructions you have, and you're not going to destroy your hearing to save your life. That's why the world is getting ready to change on January 1st. Take a look at this gun. It's one of my favorite 9mm PCCs. It's from Angstad Arms, and I believe they're a very, very superior PCC manufacturer. Absolutely great. I've had this gun for a while. I've shot it a lot. You can see it's been out to Franklin Arms. It's got a binary trigger in it as well. But this one is mounted with a dead air Mojave 45 suppressor. And unlike some of the shorter pistol suppressors, this is a pistol suppressor, but it's a very quiet pistol suppressor. Very quiet is what you want for a home defense gun. If I'm just shooting at the range, I would like it to knock a few dB off, just because it makes it a little easier. I also like the fact that it reduces recoil. But a full-size suppressor like this, called a Mojave 45 because it's rated for 45 ACP, and certainly works well with 9, this really quiets the gun down. And when we come back, I'm going to show you some issues on attachment that you're going to have to deal with. Welcome back to Triggered, where we're talking about a revolutionary change in home defense guns, and that is pistol caliber pistol with either a pistol buffer or pay 0 tax after January 1st, put a stock on it, and a suppressor. It ticks all the boxes for an ideal home defense weapon. You're going to have some interesting challenges though, because just because most of the suppressor companies have settled into a standardized thread, a lot of these PCCs haven't. For instance, just to show you this one, this is a direct screw-on. I'm going to change that, but I wanted to do initially a direct screw-on for you. This is an adapter that adapts the threads on this Angstad Arms PCC to a standard thread setup for a dead air suppressor. So it's just a matter of screwing it on. However, if you have multiple PCCs, and same thing with ARs, anything, you want to say, hey, I'd really like to be able to move that suppressor from one gun to the other, dead air, and the other suppressor companies have a design that works for that. For dead air, this is the Xeno design, which is a screw-in, and they also have a chemo, which is a ratchet in, ratchet out, a quick release. So what you can do is, once you have the right threading on the barrel, you can thread on a flash suppressor, and I'll show you another one in a minute. But once these guys are threaded on, and then you're going to glue them in place. This is where Rockset, or one of the high temperature thread lockers, comes in. Then when you want to put the suppressor on, this will be screwed in, fitted into the rear of the suppressor. All you then have to do, pop this guy on here, and it'll tighten down. It works really well. Another example here is on this Ruger 9mm. Unfortunately, the Ruger is something of a pig. It's heavy, but it's a great shooting gun. This one has a dead air. It's a small muzzle brake for pistols. So once again, once this adapter is threaded to the rear end of this suppressor, It's simply a matter of screwing it on. It's a reverse thread so it doesn't loosen up, and or ratcheting it on if you choose to go that path. And you can have these adapters on your pistols. You have these adapters on your PCC. On their Sierra 5.56, I have it on that suppressor because I have flash hiders fitted to a bunch of my ARs. So once again, you end up with an easy to maneuver, short, fast 9mm carbine. These take Glock magazines, of which I have thousands, to be able to use in your home. It makes all the sense in the world. So that's it for this week. You'll be hearing these guys later as we put these things together. Rock set takes a day or so to set. I'm Michael Bain. You can find us on Triggered. Well, this is Triggered. You can find us on michaelbain.tv, YouTube, amazingly, Rumble, even better, X. Anywhere we can find a post, we will. We'll see you next week.
This week's Triggered is brought to you by Hunter's HD Gold. They change so you don't have to. MTM Case Guard. Quality shooting sports accessories. Luth AR. Are you ready? Genuine US-made AR parts. And America's Rifle Challenge, the National Rifle Association's newest AR-based sport.